wellness? Well, I think wellness is just all encompassing of health. It's of just how you're feeling. I think wellness is not just you being, not having a disease. It's actually you feeling good and feeling inspired and feeling maybe like you did when you were a kid, where you're just light and happy all the time. There's a lot of people that don't feel that way. And I do think that your home environment can really play a big factor in that.
This is the Regenerative Real Estate Podcast. Revitalizing the world together. Hey everybody, this is Neal Collins and I am the host of the Regenerative Real Estate Podcast. It's funny, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I used to be a part of Toastmasters before the world blew up with COVID. And I love to get up on stage and first thank the audience for the opportunity to speak with them. And I would always get feedback from the old timers saying, you do not need to thank us. We really need to be thanking you for coming up and delivering a speech to us. But after countless speeches, I still have so much gratitude for the opportunity to deliver a speech, to create this show, and to go out and find guests like Sheila Alston, who is our guest today. What a sincere pleasure to talk with people that are so moved and galvanized towards creating a more regenerative future that I can't think of any better work than this. The reason why I invited Sheila Alston onto today's show is because I read a magazine in October that was the Wellness RE magazine. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Here's someone that's not only a real estate agent out of San Diego, California, but here's a real estate agent that is talking about the same things that we're talking about on the Regenerative Real Estate Podcast. And the same thing that we're infusing our work at Latitude with is how do we help people and planet thrive together? And you see, Sheila is one of these people that has noticed that our environments that we live and work are everything for our well-being and our success. And what I love about Sheila's message is that you don't necessarily need to go out and create a living building in order to infuse wellness into your life. And I will say, if you want to go out and build a living building, please get in touch with us at Latitude. We can offer so much value into that process and really expose you into our ecosystem of amazing designers and contractors, no matter if you're in San Diego, Portland, or across North America with our expanding affiliate and agent network. But Sheila talks about ways that we all can incorporate wellness into our spaces, whether we are a homeowner or an apartment dweller. So without further ado, let's get into today's show with Sheila Alston. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Regenerative Real Estate Podcast. It is awesome to have Sheila Alston on. Sheila, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Sheila, you got a beautiful office. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Rancho Santa Fe, California. It's just a little bit north of San Diego.
Okay. How'd you end up in San Diego?
Well, we're originally from Seattle, actually, and the sun brought us down here because my husband, he could work anywhere, and we just decided that we would follow the sunshine.
That doesn't sound too bad. I was walking past a mirror coming to record this, and it was almost like looking at a ghost. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's only November right now.
Well, we're from the Seattle area, and so I think there was a time where we just felt like, gosh, it rains a lot here. And it was when our kids were little and my husband was trying to coach baseball and that. And we just thought, gosh, it would be great if we could live somewhere where we vacation. We vacation a lot in California, and we just were looking at homes, and a realtor that we met there said, we're from Seattle too. And we just felt that maybe we could just live on vacation and go visit Seattle every 2 or 4 weeks out of the year. I was like, that's brilliant. So basically that's what we did. And we've been living here for about 7 years, and we love it.
Oh, wow. What's really nice about that is just setting the intention in
Mhm.
doing it, because so many
Mhm.
people get so stuck in like,
Mhm.
this is where I am and I can't go anywhere else. And one of the upsides to COVID, if there is any, it's,
Mhm.
I think people are really taking an introspective look at what they thought was their life, and now they're starting to say,
Well, I'm a
maybe there's a different path.
yeah, and I'm a firm believer that, whatever you put your mind to, you can make happen. All of a sudden, these new possibilities start happening and doors open that you didn't think were there. So if you tell yourself that you can't do this, you can't do that, you're the one that's limiting yourself, because if you just told yourself I can, then you would probably find a way. So,
Mindset. Mindset. So
yeah.
Sheila, give me and our listeners a background about your story and who you are.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm from Seattle. Um, I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, and while I was a stay-at-home mom with my kids, I also had a photography business, and we renovated several homes, my husband and I, and we just move a lot because we like to renovate homes. And every 5 years or so, I feel like my needs would change, and then we'd need to go move. And I've also been really into health and wellness, and so I'm a realtor now and a designer and a certified health coach. So for the past couple of years, I've really been trying to figure out a way to bring health and home together. I just knew there had to be a way. So just with a ton of research I've been doing, there's already a market called wellness real estate. And it's a $134 billion industry, says from the Global Wellness Institute. And so it's pretty exciting. So it's kind of snowballed into what I'm doing now.
I love it. This is exactly the theme that we are working in with Latitude, is to really talk about regeneration. And a lot of people are like, well, what is that about? And for us, at the end of the day, it's about thriving.
Hmm.
And if you really look down at the meat of the matter, it's environments are either helping or hurting us. And I actually think I'm pulling that quote out from you, of just where do you need to be to thrive, and what's an optimal environment.
Well, when I went through my health coaching certification, I just it really resonated with me, because they talked about what's on your plate. It's not just the food that's on your plate that's contributing to your overall wellness. There's so many other things. There's like um, just being social is something. I mean, now with COVID, we realize, gosh, we are social beings. We need to be with other people. It's having a huge effect on how we feel every day, just because we can't, interact with people like we used to. And everybody needs to have some sort of passion or something they get excited about every day. If you don't have that, even if you have a ton of success and you are fit or whatever, you still will feel like you're missing something. And there's I don't know, there's so many elements. I think I have like 15. I made an energy wheel of all these different elements that contribute to wellness, and it's not just food and exercise. So the idea of having a home environment that is supportive of your health is something that I don't think people consciously think about, but subconsciously, when someone's coming to look for a home and they say, well, I need, I'll know it when I see it, because I'll feel it when I walk in. That's them like trying to read the energy of the room and seeing if the flow is right, and the lighting. Those are all wellness aspects of a home. They're just not saying it in that way, but that's what they want to feel, when they get to the home.
Yeah, I like the way that you put it. And one of the most absurd things is, you and I probably toured a lot of home buyers through places, and you set an appointment, you go tour a home. If it's occupied, you kind of feel like an outsider going into somebody else's space, and you're just like taking a look around, and their art's on the walls and their furniture and all that, and then you got to leave. Or if it's vacant, it's got a very different atmosphere. There isn't a
Right.
lot of energy there, but maybe you're there for 20 minutes, and then you may, if you get it under contract, go to the inspection and spend an hour there, and then you're gone. Like you close 40 days later, 30 days
Mhm.
later, and you just bought a new house. And there's just so much to it that we don't have a lot of mindfulness around how spaces can help encourage health and wellness. But I'm very intrigued of why you've honed in on the word wellness and what that really means to you.
Wellness. Well, I think wellness is just all encompassing of health. It's of just how you're feeling. I think wellness is not just you being, not having a disease. It's actually you feeling good and feeling inspired and um, feeling maybe like you did when you were a kid, where you're just light and happy all the time. There's a lot of people that don't feel that way. And I do think that your home environment can really play a big factor in that. Just the colors on your wall. There's color psychology that if you don't know about, I mean, a lot of people know that, blue is calming, and yellow is like makes you feel happy. And you wouldn't necessarily need to paint all your walls yellow, but just having yellow flowers in your kitchen, that actually can make you feel good, if you are paying attention to them. So the colors you surround yourself, just get the way your furniture is placed. There's toxins that can be in your house too that you're unaware of, that can be off-gassing. And of course, water quality and air quality is super important. But just by being aware of these things and making little changes in your environment can have a huge effect on how you feel every day and bring more joy into your life. And so that's just what I want to share with people, because I'm just inspired learning about it myself.
I love it because there's not a lot of people that are actually exposing these ideas,
Hmm.
uh, and it's at a point now where there's things like water quality and air quality that big marketing in the economy, it frames it in a way that it makes you seem crazy if
Hmm.
you're talking about them,
Hmm.
of like, hey, do you know what chemicals are going into the water and where that water is coming from? And most people are quite blasé that they just implicitly trust the municipality of,
Hmm.
oh, well, they're going to take care of us. But I
Hmm.
don't know if anybody has listened or if you've listened to the Rich Roll podcast with Aaron Brockovich, but it will blow you away, especially being in California,
Hmm.
of just there's a lot of ignorance that is going on at the municipal level, and in a very corrupt way of big companies that are pretty much getting in their way of and they have an impact on our watersheds and our water sources. And so it's
Well,
just
I mean, I like to equate that with just the whole food movement that's been happening over the past 10 or 15 years. For a long time, we didn't know what was in our food. And it's having a huge amount of like, it's causing health effects or having people are having like health effects because of it, so they're getting sick or chronic illnesses and things, right? So it took the organic movement and people just really trying to figure out what's happening in our food system for people to become aware, and then now slowly there's changes that are being made, right? So I think it's the same with our home environment. For so long everybody's just after profits, and after, when people are just after making money, you make different choices. And if your goal is to provide, a healthy environment for your customers, that's a different goal than just let's build the cheapest, fastest build we can build that just provides four walls and can make us the most money per square foot. um, so it's pretty exciting that new developers are forward thinking like that. And there's a whole movement. Like I said, there's $134 billion worth of money being spent every single year on projects like this. And according to the Global Wellness Institute, they say that there's 740 wellness lifestyle projects that are already like have been built or being built or plan to be built right now. And so I think that's pretty exciting to learn about. So that's why I'm creating this magazine, because I want to share that with people and tell them about the different lifestyle projects and help them with how they can create a healthier home themselves.
yeah, I would love to plug your magazine, the Wellness
Mhm.
RE magazine. I checked out your first copy. I believe that was in October, and just it's a gorgeous, aesthetically pleasing magazine with some really good tips that selfishly, like, spoke to us of like, oh, there is somebody out there that is speaking our same language, that actually has the same value set of healthy homes and healthy habitats, and really putting a wellness spin on it. And I'm very curious, because you do have a podcast called Bloomin' and you have talked with other developers, what are some of those projects that you had mentioned? How can you incorporate wellness elements so that you can call it a wellness project?
Well, so I'll tell you about this one that's happening in Oceanside, California right now. It's called North River Farms. It's super exciting. They're calling it an agrihood, which is a neighborhood that's focused on agriculture. So in Oceanside, it's a beach community, but it extends maybe 20 miles east. It's a pretty large city. And there's a whole bunch of underdeveloped area that's used for a lot of agriculture. So they have how many acres is it? I think in this neighborhood, there's going to be 500 homes, and they're going to have 50 acres of winery and CSA farms and UPIC farms and an education center. And it's not going to be just for the community members that live, or the residents that live in that neighborhood. It's for the whole, anybody that's kind of in the near area. And they are going to create a Maker's Mark building where they have local artisans sell their goods, and they're going to have restaurants there. They're going to have dog parks and sidewalks. And they're really trying to create a place where people can go and spend their whole entire day there, have 2 meals there. They said that's their measure of success. If someone can come and have 2 meals there, they will feel good. And they want to just inspire people to grow food, right? And like know where their food is coming from. So the fact that you could have a community plot there if you are a resident, or that you can bring your kids to the education center and learn about farming, and that there's an actual CSA farm that's working right in your neighborhood. And then they want to have, they're going to have an amphitheater also that's outdoor, and they want to have wine and balloon festivals there for the whole area, the whole region. And that's the kind of development that's like inspiring. It makes people want to live in a place like that, not just, your gated neighborhood with a pool, you know? So it's pretty exciting. And so I did feature them in my November issue of the magazine, and I love it. They already have a waiting list of 1,000 or 1,500 people that are excited about this, the new development. I think next year they're going to start breaking ground on that, but it's been approved and they're getting permits right now. So it's pretty
That's
exciting.
awesome. Yeah, we had a recent podcast guest on named Steve Nygren that developed Serenbe out of Atlanta, Georgia, which is that probably one of the original models in the 21st century, at least, where they amassed 60,000 acres and they created those kinds of rural hamlets with edible walkways and CSA farms. And it's just done such an incredible, almost mind-blowing development. And people are flocking to that because it's literally taking the best of what was and what is and saying, look, this is what could be. This is where our neighborhoods can go. And one of the areas of wellness and really regeneration that I talk about a lot is that community is often the thing that we are lacking the most. Hey everybody, this is Neal. We are going to get back to this great conversation in just 1 second. But I think it's fair to say that right now we are facing some pretty unprecedented challenges in the 21st century. I mean, you name it, environmentally, socially, economically, we've got some big problems that we need to overcome. And that's why, for me personally, and the people that work with us at Latitude, we want to dedicate our time and our energy so that we are not only working to put food on the table and a roof over our heads, but also make the world a better place. And so if you are at all interested in combining your sustainability values with a very powerful financial model of real estate, then I highly encourage you to check out what we are doing at Latitude. We are creating something truly special with a tribe of change agents that for now is working across North America. And hopefully one day in the future, with you coming on board, we can be working across the globe. So please check us out. You can go to www.chooselatitude.com, or you can find us on social media at latitude.realty on Instagram, and we are also on Facebook. Okay, let's get back into it. whenever people walk through those kinds of projects and those kinds of developments, they have this different feel to it. And they don't quite know what it is until they realize, oh, this is a community oriented project.
Right. Well, because when people come together, there's it's like synergistic. You're never, I mean, if you can't ever believe that you have all the ideas in the world and you're the best person. Like, clearly, if you work with other people, you inspire each other and you can come to a better solution than you can come to all by yourself. So just seeing these developments that are focused on community, this December's issue is all about this idea district that's in San Diego, and it's completely the opposite of an agrihood. It's totally urban development, but super exciting because this developer he's been involved in transformative projects and he's addicted to them. So he wanted to create something downtown in San Diego that would draw young professionals and employers to have their base in downtown San Diego. So they called it the Idea District, but he didn't have a bunch of tenants and money to just build it. So what he did was he created an idea and just started talking to all the local business people and the politicians and the design district and the arts. And he wanted to bring inspiration and design and arts together for this whole, I guess it's a apartment building complex, but it's more than that, So it was super exciting to hear what they were doing there, and it's inspired all of these leaders to come together. And now they have, I think it's 32 blocks of this amazing idea district that's now a place where young professionals can go and they can live and they can play and they can eat good food and be social. And he said that when you bring smart people or bring anybody together, that it's like serendipitous. You're kind of creating these, he called it, what did he say? It was like creative collisions that you would have with people. So he wanted to create a space where these creative collisions could happen. So they have like this hub area that's downstairs where they have programming that's always there for different kinds of events and art events and work events and things, just to get people to be social and bump into each other and talk and make friends and have new inspiration and new ideas for whatever they want to do in their lives. It was pretty great.
Oh, that's so cool. It reminds me of so many different things, and like just having intentional design
Mm-hmm,
for community interaction is
mm-hmm.
what I want to emphasize there. Sheila, I'm very curious. From buying a home to, like, if we're talking about not just new developments that is like created from a visionary and put down and then built from new, what can people do to incorporate wellness into their homes, either starting from, we need to find a new home, or if they're already in their existing home?
Well, one thing that they can do is actually the easiest thing to do is just start decluttering, actually. You would be so surprised at how much stress clutter can bring in your life. So even from the moment that you walk in your front door or you walk into the mudroom or whatever, if you have a bunch of junk that you just like pile up there, that's the first thing you see when you walk in the door. That's going to subconsciously you're going to be, oh my gosh, I got to clean that up. And you're just not going to be in the same frame of mind as if you walked into a space that made you feel good. Maybe it's all clean and it's really well organized. So decluttering is really, it seems like a no-brainer, but it's a big one that can make you feel good. The other thing you can do is in your bedroom, you could just make your bed every day. And then maybe you'll feel like you're in a hotel. If you walk into a hotel room and your bed's already made, you can just relax and have calming colors in your bedroom. Those are two really simple, easy ways that I can think of off the top of my head that don't really require you buying anything or looking into toxins or anything. Everybody can do that. And you'd be surprised at how good you will feel just by even just if you took a junk drawer that you have in your kitchen, I always get excited because inevitably it gets all junky after a few months because people don't not keep it organized. But if I just empty that out and clean out my junk drawer, I'm like, oh my gosh, my junk drawer is totally clean. It makes me feel good, right? So just taking little bits of your house and going through and doing that will make you feel so good.
That's great. Those are actionable tips that are
Yep.
not going to cost anybody any
No.
money. And now that we're in the wintertime, I hope we have a lot more time to do that at our place as well.
Yes. Well, and spring cleaning will be right around the corner.
That is true. Well, is there any lasting or one last kind of nugget that you want to leave our listeners to where they can find your magazine and get in touch with you?
Oh, sure. If someone's interested in just downloading the free issue, they can go to Wellness RE Mag. That's the name of it. It's Wellness RE for Wellness Real Estate. And so wellnessremag.com. And they can download the free issue and check it out. But yeah, I guess the nugget. I think if people can just maybe start becoming aware of what your surroundings, and notice how you feel in your environment. Are you stressed all the time? Are there I guess just to start paying attention and then start noticing that kind of stuff. And then if you were to read my magazine, maybe it would inspire you with different ideas on actionable things that you could do. If you're looking for a home, I would suggest, looking for somebody who can help you find a healthy home, because I'm so inspired by meeting you, because I had this idea and I feel like there's so many realtors that they say that customers don't care. And I think that's not true. I think customers do care. And I think real estate agents are the perfect people to start talking about this stuff with their clients so that they know that they have somebody to ask these questions to, right? So I would just say start doing some research and start looking at that stuff if you are in the market for a new home. You don't have to just go to a brand new wellness development to have a healthy home. You can you can have a healthy home yourself, and you can hire somebody that can help you find one. So I mean, when I was talking to you and your wife Alissa, and you were just saying different things that you can do in your garden too that can make you happy and be more sustainable with all the different plantings you have. I was inspired when I went to your Instagram and saw those beautiful pictures. So there's so many different things that you can do. It's hard for me to give just one nugget. So I would just say, if this is the first time you're hearing about this, just start doing a little research and start paying attention to how you feel in your space. And then you'll know what you need to do.
Sheila, that was brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, everybody, that is a wrap. This is another just great episode that I'm so glad that you're able to tune in. And thank you for being interested in regenerative real estate. What we are trying to do is help people and planet thrive together by using the built environment as a catalyst. And so I've got a couple big asks for you. Number one is, can you please go to wherever you're listening to this podcast, leave us a rating and review. Those actually go so far. And since this is such a passion project for us, we really want to be able to attract the best thought leaders from around the world. Second is that if you really like the content that we're putting out, you can find us on our own Medium publication called Regenerative Real Estate. We also have a very active community on Facebook, which is called Regenerative Real Estate and Design, which you can request to be a part of, and we would love to have you. And third, this goes to what we do every single day, helping buyers and sellers demystify sustainability by working with people that want to either buy a property and are trying to figure out the financing of, how do I actually live out my values? How do I put that water catchment system on there? Or how do I go finance a solar panel PV array? Or maybe I want to live closer to nature. And what are the properties that are out there that I can do that? And so we represent buyers like that. We also happen to represent sellers that maybe they've already invested in sustainable features. Maybe they have a living building or a LEED certified project. We want to help tell that story. So much of what goes on in the real estate industry is transactional thinking at best, and it translates down into agents just really don't know anything about sustainability. And for us, we think that the value is there, and we want to help highlight really the intrinsic value of it, not just the bedrooms and the baths and the square feet of what typical marketing goes on. So if you know of anybody that wants to buy or sell these kinds of properties that we're talking about, please reach out to us at Latitude, and be sure to subscribe for another great episode coming up next week.